Katahan oyasanakwak, the heart, she leads them there. What we call things matters. I'm a theater director, but even though I make my work in traditional theatrical settings, I direct a little bit differently. I'm Mohegan. We're a northeastern woodlands people on the shoreline in Connecticut. My tribe is matriarchal, and our stories, ways of understanding from my culture, affect the way I lead. I was taught a worldview without a living language. My tribe's language, like many indigenous languages, was brought to the point of extinction by colonialism. People say that the heart of a culture is in its language. In Mohegan, when you and I are an equation in a sentence, you always comes first. It's a language in which it's impossible to think of yourself before others. During my lifetime, my elders have been working very hard to restore the Mohegan language. But I frequently run into moments when something I've been taught, a way of being in the world, cannot be spoken. There's a gap between my head, my heart, and my tongue. I cannot articulate. I get stuck in the space of what is lost. When I graduated from acting school, I switched over to directing because I ran into a few too many situations where a non-native director turned to an all-native cast and said, "Hey, sing that Indian song," then stared at us waiting. We didn't all magically know the same song. We weren't even from the same tribe or culture, yet we were constantly being lumped together into a very finite understanding of what it is to be native. Little secret. It's not something that can be checked in a box. One of the most beautiful things about Mohegan stories, our language and culture, is the integration of ideologies instead of boxes and binaries. In Mohegan, you don't separate art from politics, from education, from the earth, from you, from me, from our community. Everything is woven together because there are no hard lines breaking up our universe. Ideas lean on each other, like people. So I started to wonder what happened. How did we lose this community connection? Who decided that that person at the front of the room was suddenly more important or magically all-knowing instead of what they are, a part of the group? What happens if we look for connections instead of divides? Lead from a place of listening, from a place of love. As someone who directs both in and out of the Native community, I became aware of a divide where the theater industry's language seemed to be poisoning what I believed was important about the process of telling stories, of building worlds on stage. Frustrated, I went and I spoke to one of my friends and mentors, playwright William Yellow Robe, about it, one of the fathers of contemporary Native theater. He told me, to really have a strong Native theater movement, we needed to be using the words in our own languages for what we were doing. Director. The word director is not particularly elegant, imaginative, passionate. When I hear it, I think of someone directing traffic, barking orders, aggression, and I realized I don't want that job. So I went and I asked Mohegan elder Stephanie Fielding what our word for a director would be. Katahan ayasinakwak. What's it mean? The closest English translation is, the heart, she leads us there. Embedded in that word is everything I was missing. A leadership model invested in the community rather than itself. Now when I'm scared, I'm reminded it's not about me as the director. My job is to take care of the group, to connect, to translate, to inspire, to make sure we're all moving forward on our journey together. What we call things, it matters. What job do you want to have? Director? Katahan ayasanakwak. Our heart. She leads us there. To Butney, thank you.